Three suspects, ages 15 and 16 years old at the time of this crime. Young people who lived clear on the other side of the metro area. They did not know the victims at all. It was a look at Google searches that led them to the three suspects, two now in adult court here and one in a juvenile court.
I didn't kill my wife and my daughter.
The father still broken by the loss of his wife and infant daughter. Hassan Jal and Hawa Bai were two of the victims, in addition to Jabril and Aja Jal and their 3-year-old daughter, all caught in a gasoline-fed...
Alright, what's up with y'all? I'm back again with another video. So look, man, before I jump into the video, I definitely got to start it off with some positivity. I want to tell all my supporters out there that's rocking with me on a day-to-day consistent basis that I do appreciate y'all, and I hope that everything is going the way that you want it to go in your life. And I'm sending y'all nothing but peace, blessings, and prosperous energy our way. And yeah, man, if everything ain't going the way that you want it to in your life, please stay motivated and consistent. I've been saying this on a couple of videos because I really need this for myself also, but I really want to send this out to my people, man. If you feel like giving up, you get tired, whatever the case may be, just don't do it. Stay motivated, stay consistent. And there's so much other stuff on the other side of all of this hard work we putting in out here, man, for real, for real. But other than that, let's go ahead and move forward into this video because we got a lot to talk about. So first of all, before we move forward, I want to say RIP to this entire family. Yes, an entire family. The way that they lost their lives is very, very sickening to me, man, you know. And it was a group of boys that actually did this to this family, and it's so sad and lame why they did it. Now, I got to send my condolences out to the family and everybody else out there that's around, that's associated with this family. They really had a genuine love for them, because I know this got to be very, very, you know, traumatizing to actually know that this happened to your friends and family members and stuff like that, and to actually know that there were children inside of this house and this happened really just tore me up. Y'all already know how I am. But yeah, man, long story short, it was some little dudes that, you know, went to a house and ultimately ended up burning down the house with the family in the inside of it, and everybody's life was taken due to the fact of this dude's negligence. He was so mad about a phone that was stolen, and he actually got the wrong damn house. So now, yes, I said the wrong house. Yes, I said that, the wrong damn house. He went over there, did this to the wrong people, and he's basically looking like he's gonna get a real life sentence, you know. Now, he could get a big, hefty sentence, but we really just don't know. It's looking like it's in his favor right now. But anyway, his name is Kevin Bowie. I think that's how you pronounce his name. You know, trial is gonna, well, he already pleaded guilty. He will be sentenced in July, but I'm going to go ahead and let them tell y'all all the details in this situation. And when y'all hear these, I want y'all to understand and know that there is a lot of bias in certain situations, because if it was a black dude, I pointed at me, but I don't want to put this on myself. But if it was somebody else out there, a black dude that did this right here, I'm pretty sure none of this stuff would be happening. But it looks like the father has a good amount of money that's helping him get through this situation the way that he's helping him get through this situation. He had a lot of charges beforehand, and they dropped him down to 2. I think he had like 60 charges, and they dropped down to 2. I think everybody that was associated with this situation be charged for every person that was in that house. That's just one charge, but there's so many other ones that should be associated with them also. But let's get into this video, and we're gonna talk about it during the video and after the video. Let's go.
2 teenagers will now go to trial for their alleged roles in a deadly house fire that...
And this right here, I forgot to tell y'all, this is a timeline. So y'all already know how I do it sometimes. I'll go ahead and show y'all what took place in the beginning, and I'm gonna give y'all the update during the video also. But make sure y'all paying attention to all these damn details. This is crazy. Let's go.
5 innocent people, all of them family. It happened in August of 2020 in Denver. Those suspects were in court today.
And it was the first time we've gotten a close look at the evidence that led to the arrests. Prosecutors laid out their case against Kevin Bowie and Gavin Seymour, and the judge said there is enough evidence to send them to trial on dozens of counts, including 3 people were involved in the arson fire, as you can see from these surveillance camera pictures. That third suspect has also been charged, but as a juvenile, so we do not use his name. Alan Janae with more on today's hearing. And Alan, it's been called a senseless arson, and that's growing more clear as the evidence is laid out.
Well, inside this court building today, we got a better idea, Jim, of how it was police figured out that they had 3 suspects, ages 15 and 16 years old at the time of this crime. Young people who lived clear on the other side of the metro area. They did not know the victims at all. It was a look at Google searches that led them to the 3 suspects, 2 now in adult court here and 1 in a juvenile court.
I didn't kill my wife and my daughter.
The father still broken by the loss of his wife and infant daughter. Hassan Jal and Hawa Bai were 2 of the victims, in addition to Jabril and Aja Jal and their 3-year-old daughter, all caught in a gasoline-fed fire that raced through a home on Truckee Street in Green Valley Ranch in August of 2020.
It is just a horrific case.
2 suspects are now in adult court, Kevin Bowie and Gavin Seymour. Investigators went to Google with a warrant.
Looking at who had searched for this particular address, and they can get that information through Google.
Detective Neil Baker told the court it didn't really match of why they would be searching for that house, so that's why we focused our investigation on those 3. Detectives say Bowie had a phone stolen when he tried to buy a gun illegally and tracked the phone to the area of the home. They say he, Seymour, and the other juvenile dressed in masks and hoodies, and Bowie sent a text message to a family member the night of the fire, testified an ATF agent, saying, "They gonna get theirs like I got mine, I swear." Police say Bowie had the wrong house, and all were innocent victims.
Just a brutal and agonizing way, totally senseless.
Totally.
Well, the defense today that said that while Bowie had confessed to a detective involvement, he also told that detective he did not want to see anyone killed or even hurt. Now, technology obviously played a real big role in breaking this case with both search and location data. But on the other hand, maybe it was technology that got it started, with his ability to look for a stolen phone that allegedly got the whole thing started. Maybe.
Another thing that they were saying was that the little dude was doing something with drugs, selling drugs, buying drugs, something like that. But anyway it goes, look what how he's doing. And y'all still giving him some type of leniency just because he pleaded. I don't feel like he should be able to plead. I don't give a damn if you were under. I don't give a damn. I don't care how old you are, anything like that. Look what you did. Look at the significance of what was done here. You know, they need to start holding people accountable. And I'm telling you, if they start holding people more accountable for things like this, I mean, to the maximum extent, stuff like this won't even happen. You know what I'm saying? And let me say this too before I move forward. Everything in this video from the beginning to the end is all allegedly. It's just my thoughts and opinions and stuff like that also. But yes, you need to be held accountable for everything that you do. I don't give a damn. Once you get up to 15, 16, 17, these kids are smart as hell. They know what the hell they be doing. And look what they did. They completed the task that they were trying to complete. You feel me? In my personal opinion. But yeah, they did what they did, and now they got the opportunity at life again, because you know they're not finna max them out. But wait till y'all hear the rest of the details. I had to state that real quick. Let's go.
Years ago, there wouldn't have been a crime at all. In Denver, I'm Alan Janae.
As the third and final suspect charged in connection with the fire pleads guilty. 5 family members died in that fire in Green Valley Ranch in 2020. Investigators say it started as revenge for a stolen phone. Those suspects targeted the wrong home, though. Kevin Bowie pleaded guilty to charges of second-degree murder, and he could get a sentence in July for a total of 60 years behind bars. Reporter in Denver, Jasmine Arenas, live from the courthouse now. Jasmine, you spoke with a family advocate. They say they accepted that plea deal weeks ago.
Well, yeah, Becca, this has been a long and hard case that has had a huge impact for both people here in Denver and in Senegal. Days after the fire, Senegalese politicians made their way to Denver to share their condolences. Now, friends of those who were killed tell me they just want to move on and let the memory of those who passed away live on.
The tragic event of August 5th, 2020 really changed all of our lives.
Usman Ba is a friend and advocate for the family of the victims who tragically lost their lives after their home was set on fire in August of 2020.
At the end of the day, we just want closure.
He still remembers his friend who passed away in that fire along with his wife Aja and their 23-month-old daughter Khadija. 2 others, Hassan and her daughter, also lost their lives.
We're from the same tribe, we speak the same languages, from the same culture.
He speaks with their family in Senegal often.
How do you fathom that, you know, the idea of losing 5 kids that didn't do nothing? They were just being good American citizens, came here, living the American dream, you know.
And says they feel justice has taken a long time.
It's been long.
On Friday, 20-year-old Kevin Bowie was the last of the 3 accused for starting the fire to enter a plea. Bowie, Gavin Seymour, and Dylan Siebert were arrested in 2021 and a couple years later have now all pled guilty for their role in the fire.
It might take a year over there in Africa, but it's taken for almost 5 years for a process, for the judicial process, and it's understandable.
Now that the sentence is set, Usman says they would like to move on and let the victim's memory live on.
Yes, that's what we really care about, is really having their legacy and their impact. And it's always going to be hard for us. We're not going to forget that day.
Now 60 charges against Bowie were dropped, but he will be inside this courthouse for sentencing on July 2nd for 2 charges. I also spoke with Bowie's father outside the courtroom, who tells me that he accepts his son's fate and does not look or expect to come back for sentencing. I'm live in Denver. Jasmine Arenas covering Colorado First.
Sound like he already know everything gonna be good, because if he wasn't in full support, he wouldn't even be there right now. It sounds like he already know what's gonna happen, and he don't want to be there due to the backlash that's probably gonna happen due to the fact of him getting that light sentence. That's just my personal opinion on it. Tell me if you agree, or tell me if you think it's something else. Just let me know your thoughts and opinions. Let's get back into it though.
Just heartbreaking. Jasmine, thank you so much. Jasmine covers stories impacting
Last of 3 suspects in a 2020 arson. The family of 5 pleaded guilty this morning. Kevin Bowie intentionally set a fire at a home in the Green Valley Ranch area, killing 3 adults, a toddler, and a 6-month-old.
Today, he pleaded guilty to 2 counts of second-degree, bringing a sentence of 60 years in prison. And 9 News reporter Steve Steger was there as Bowie admitted guilt this afternoon. Steve, the prosecutors say he was the one who was actually the mastermind.
Yeah, Tom, they say Kevin Bowie was trying to track down a stolen cell phone that he was using to sell drugs. He used the his iPad, to track that phone to a house on Truckee Street in Green Valley Ranch. It was the wrong home. Prosecutors say he plotted revenge and burned that home to the ground. 5 members of the Joel family were inside, including a 2-year-old and a 6-month-old. Today in court, Bowie pleaded guilty to 2 counts of second-degree killing 5 members of that family.
2 counts.
The stipulated sentence in this plea agreement would mean that Bowie would spend the next 60 years in prison, 30 for each count. That would run consecutively. If the judge agrees with that sentence, he'll avoid the maximum for second degree, which could have put him away for more than 90 years. Bowie was 16 at the time of the crime back in 2020, charged as an adult. Now he is 20 years old. Part of the reason it's taken so long to get here, this case was held up by the Colorado Supreme Court, and a case challenging some of the evidence in this case, a search warrant for anyone who had Googled that address. The state Supreme Court ruled that the search warrant was valid back in October. The 2 other teens involved in this have already pleaded and been sentenced. Gavin Seymour, who was also 16 at the time, got 40 years. Dylan Siebert, who was 14 at the time, got 3 years in juvenile detention and another 7 in a program called Youth Offender Services. Kevin Bowie is scheduled to be sentenced on July 2nd. In the studio, Steve Steger, 9 News.
You know, that was the summer of 2020, Steve, and in some respects when it happened, I mean, it got coverage and then it was overlooked for a while, but that family was devastated, and they have been incredible throughout this process.
It was a case that was shocking to hear about at the time. The evidence that the police released at the time, a picture of 3 masked teenagers who allegedly started this fire. It took them months to find these suspects, and inevitably that Google search helped them get there, but they're finally getting some resolution in this case.
Allegedly. For the Joel family, that's some level of peace, at least. All right.
A man accused of setting a house on fire. 5 people pleading guilty in court today. Fox 31's Vicente Arenas was inside of that courtroom today and spoke with the suspect's parents and the victim's friends. Vicente joins us live now. Vicente, what are they saying after today's plea?
I talked to those friends this afternoon. They say that they were watching this hearing on WebEx, and they're afraid now that there could be too light of a sentence because of this plea. They're going to continue watching. I also spoke with Bowie's father afterwards. He said they're accepting what's happened.
The images of this house fire in Denver in August of 2020 were horrific. 5 people, including 2 children, were killed in the fire that was deliberately set. They were all members of a family from Senegal. Today, 20-year-old Kevin Bowie pleaded guilty to second-degree murder for each of the 5 victims. This afternoon, a friend of one of the people who in the fire said, "We're hopeful this time that justice will be served and that he will get a deserving sentence." The judge today said Bowie could serve up to 60 years in prison. 2 other teenagers had previously pleaded guilty. Bowie's parents were in the courtroom today listening through a Vietnamese translator.
When he said guilty today, what went through your mind, Mr. Bowie?
It's not quiet, right? But she had no choice.
You laughing? What
Anything else that you would like to say?
No, he accepted. We accepted. Yeah, nothing else to say.
Investigators say Bowie was seeking revenge for his stolen cell phone at the wrong house and set that house on fire. The plea deal means there will not be a trial for any of the suspects and the fire. Legal analyst Christopher Decker.
The least culpable person starts to take a plea, and then the next takes a plea, and then the final person remaining is back up against the wall and forced to either go to trial with a very, very grim prospect or to take a forced deal.
We now know what that deal is in one of the deadliest house fires in Denver that will not soon be forgotten.
And Bowie is now scheduled to be sentenced in July. Again, the judge saying that he could serve up to 60 years in prison at the county courthouse, downtown Denver. Vicente Arenas, Fox 31.
All right, Vicente.
All this, he could. It should be mandatory, in my personal opinion. I hate that people out here are going through certain things with the court processes and everything like that due to the fact of them just taking their time and just bullshit, in my personal opinion. You know, I feel like that they should go ahead and have mandatory sentences set. That way we can skip all of this court process and everything. But also, I feel like that, you know, the eye for an eye. And yeah, man, sometimes these parents need to be held responsible for their goddamn kids. If they're a minor, you don't want to charge them, okay, we're going to do the parents then. I bet they'll learn a goddamn lesson then, for real. But overall, ultimately, man, I done say what I had to say about the situation. RIP to the family. I can't wait to see the sentencing. I wish it was a mandatory life sentence, but it is what it is, you know. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on this whole situation. If you made it to the end of this video, I definitely appreciate y'all. And I also want to say that, you know, if you're a young person watching this video, man, make sure you understand the consequences of your actions. You know, everybody looking at all this other stuff that's happening on the internet, and they think that it's okay, and they think that they'll get away with certain things and stuff like that, man, they gonna catch your ass. I'm telling you. So many people think that they're gonna get away with so many different things, and they always get caught. So always remember that before you make your next move. And don't be so emotional. Try to learn some emotional intelligence, read you some books, you know, just take your time out and just learn life, man. You know, even though you are young, but the day that we're in right now, the day and age that we're in the age of Aquarius. So, you know, a lot of things will be exposed, and a lot of people will come to the light when it comes to knowledge and stuff like that. So take your time, read your books, understand life, have some emotional intelligence, and yeah, man, you know, you should be straight. Other than that, RIP to the family one more time, and I will holler at y'all later on another video. All right.